14-year-old Sarah Grace rummaged through the meager stock of food supplies in preparation of grandfather's arrival for a light morning meal. Papa Jacob would be ducking through the kitchen doorway at any moment, and despite all the uncertainty of late, Sarah found herself looking forward to these quiet moments of conversation as the first rays of dawn filtered across the bare horizon. Daybreak, the time of wrestling and the time of blessing, Grandfather often said when recounting his life-changing experience with God so many years ago. And now it had become a special, unofficial appointment for just the two of them before the rest of the family gathered to break fast ahead of their daily duties. She gained strength from his memories of better days, the stories of lush, wide-open fields filled with herd and flock, and the abundance of God's provision. She also clung to a thread of hope in the tales of hardship as well, the ones laced with a reassuring comfort of God's presence in the midst of suffering. But what now? Their family had already suffered so much. How could they survive this sore famine that ravaged the land? A faint shadow crossed the weathered surface of her time-worn workstation, interrupting each troubled thought. Sarah looked up. It was him, right on time. Grandfather shuffled into the room, his face lined with decades of both joy and sorrow, the limp in each measured step bearing witness to a story they had all heard many times around the family dinner table. A lifelong reminder of the day Grandfather Jacob met God face to face. "Good morning, dear one." He sank to the scuffed wooden bench beside her with a weary expression. "Good morning, Papa." Another restless night? Sarah Grace placed a warm mug of tea in front of him, resting a gentle hand on one shoulder. Father and his brothers still had not returned from their second journey to Egypt, and she knew Papa thought of little else these days, as rations dwindled lower than ever, and the sobering weight of loss settled over their small community in Canaan. Papa savored the thin, warm liquid for a moment before responding. "Restless, yes. But I am a little more at ease this morning." He stared into the distance, stroking the strands of his snow-white beard, as Sarah moved to resume her duties. After a few steps, she stopped short, turning to him again. "Papa?" "Yes?" "Well, never mind. It's nothing." He encouraged her to continue. "Go on, Sarah. What's on your heart? There must be something, or you wouldn't have mentioned it." She paused, torn between wanting to put on a brave face and feeling vulnerable all at once. Finally, Sarah voiced her fear. "Well, Papa, if we are God's chosen people, why has He left us desolate? You bereaved of your sons, and all of us close to starving if help doesn't arrive soon. Ah, my dear girl, this is certainly a difficult time. I can't say why God has allowed it. But if I have learned anything in my years on this earth, it's this: God always moves with purpose. I am grieved, yes, but God has not forgotten where we are. He paused, as if debating whether to say more. A loud commotion sounded outside, and he squinted toward the small window before continuing. I had a dream last night. The details were foggy, but I woke with a sense of hope. We may soon see a miracle. Remember, God always has a plan. He prepares the way ahead, but often only allows us to see it in stages. Once again, he peered beyond the small room where they sat, in time to see a figure rush through the door in a cloud of dust. Her father and uncles. She moved to greet them in the whirlwind, only to turn back at the sight of Papa being supported by his sons. He nearly fell to the floor in the wake of their conversation, and Sarah felt the room begin to spin. Words like wagons and chariots, Egypt and Joseph, and he's alive tumbled through her subconscious. Indeed, God had not forgotten. He knew exactly where they were.